Hi, this is Guntuka Srinivas. Welcome to Varinia's Photon Online Educational Academy for IIT and NEET examinations. In this channel, we especially concentrate on the basic concepts related to the physics, chemistry, and mathematics subjects. In the initial phase, we go slowly, we concentrate on the basics. Later, we go to the advanced levels of the topics. I welcome you all for the IIT chemistry classes. In the previous class, we have seen about the mixture and what are the components of the mixture, etc. In this session, let us see about the substance. Matter, according to its chemical nature, is classified as mixture and pure substance. In the earlier class, we have discussed about the mixture. Yeah, let us concentrate on this pure substance. When we look at the pure substance, observe the term pure. The term is pure. Prefix is pure. The meaning is that when all the constituent particles present in the substance are same in chemical nature, then such a substance is known as pure substance. Observe carefully. The constituent particles means inside the parts of that substance, particles which are the part of that substance. If all of them are of same in chemical nature. Of the clarity I am highlighting. When all the constituent particles, the parts of the particles present in the substance are same in chemical nature, same in the chemical nature, then such a substance is known as pure substance. Clear? Observe. Here I quote examples. Copper, silver, gold, here, iron, glucose, etc. These are all examples of the pure substance. Observe, if I take copper, okay, let us say this is a copper piece. This is a copper piece. And if I break this piece into very small particles, very small particles, minute particles, which are constituents of the entire copper piece. That means the parts of that copper piece. All the small particles have the same chemical nature as that of the copper piece. Means whatever the particles, if all these are copper particles, whatever the particles, these are copper particles, whatever the particle you take, all are having same chemical nature, having same chemical nature. Yeah. Another example, let us take. If I take a gold piece, if I take, clear? Gold piece, if I take, and various particles are present in that gold piece. Observe. These are all the various particles. These are particles of gold. If all the particles of gold, constituent particles of gold, are having the same chemical nature. So here I quote all constituent particles of gold are same in chemical nature. Same in chemical nature. Then such a substance is known as pure substance. Clear? Whatever maybe you take, silver you take glucose, anything. If all are having the same constant particles are having the same chemical nature, that is the definition of a pure substance. Clear? Now, here, let us see the salient features of pure substance. Salient features of pure substance. Clear? The first point always to be remembered. The first point always to be remembered in case of pure substance is that the composition in which particles are present, the constituent particles form a fixed ratio. This is very, very important. They form a fixed ratio. Just now I told about glucose. Example I have given glucose. Clear? What is glucose? The chemical formula of the glucose is nothing but C6H12O6. This is the chemical formula of the glucose. Observe, in this glucose, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are forming a fixed ratio. That means the constituent particles of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are following a fixed ratio. Whereas in the previous session, we have seen about the mixture. In a mixture, we do not have fixed ratio. It is a variable ratio. It can be anything, any ratio in the mixture. But coming to the pure substance, you must have a fixed ratio. This is the first rule we follow. It's a pure substance. Clear? Next, the second aspects of the pure substance is that, okay, constituent particles means particles which are forming that substance, constituent particles of substance cannot be separated by simple physical methods. This is the second aspect of pure substance. I highlight constituent particles of substance. That means the pure constituent particles of pure substance. Here I clearly write constituent parts of pure substance cannot be separated by simple physical methods because they are part. They are in the fixed ratio. You cannot separate them by physical methods. In the previous session, we have seen in a mixture, you can separate the mixture by simple hand picking methods. You can make use of filtration. You can make use of crystallization process. You can make use of the distillation process, etc., to separate the components of the mixture. But whereas in the case of pure substance, that is not possible. You cannot separate the internal constituent particles of pure substance by simple physical methods. Clear? I again reiterate, what is the first aspect of the pure substance? They follow the fixed ratio. Constituent particles follow the fixed ratio. What is the second aspect of the pure substance? They cannot be separated by simple physical methods. And one of the most important is what? All the constituent particles which are forming the pure substance are having the same chemical nature. They are having the same, even whatever you pick up, that is, if you take up a big gold piece and internal particles you pick up, all gold particles, inside gold particles having the same chemical nature. If you take up a steel rod, steel piece, and internal all are steel particles, if you pick up each and every steel particles, all the steel particles are having the same chemical nature. If you take a silver plate, and if you pick up all the silver particle inside, all the silver particles are silver in nature. Okay, same chemical in nature. Clear? That should be kept in the mind during the pure substance analysis. Clear? Now, observe the pure substance can be further classified into two types. Pure substance is of two types again. One is element. The second is compound. Clear? What is an element? An element is nothing but it is having a atoms. It is formed by the atoms. Or sometimes two atoms combine form a molecule. Clear? Element is nothing but it is formed due to the atoms, combination of the atoms. Or sometimes two atoms combine a form a molecule. That means here I clearly write. Here I clearly write. Okay. Particles of element, particles or element consists of only one type of atoms. Only one type of atoms. This is the first aspect of the element. Particles of element consists of only one type of atoms. Clear? The second aspect of the element is they exist as atoms or molecules. They exist as atoms or molecules. Of the clarity. Okay. Here I take a simple example. Here I take the example. First example I take sodium, copper, silver. Yeah. Iron, gold. All these are in this completely. First one, if I take highlight it, the constituent particles are in the sodium particles, sodium atoms, and copper atoms, silver atoms, gold atoms. They are combination of atoms. Another example, if I take the second example, if I take, if one atom of hydrogen, here I clearly write, an atom of hydrogen, combined with another atom of another atom of hydrogen, you will get hydrogen molecule, a molecule of hydrogen. Yeah, that means inside the hydrogen molecule you have two atoms of hydrogen. One atom of hydrogen plus another atom of hydrogen. When they combined together, a hydrogen molecule is formed in which you have two atoms of hydrogen. In which you have two atoms of hydrogen. Just now I said, pure substance, when it is existing as an element, all inside the constant particles are of same nature. And they exist as atoms, or one atom with the same another atom combined form the molecules. They form the molecules. That means element can exist as an independent atoms, or two atoms clubbed together form a molecule. Yeah. Let us take up another example. Here I take up the another example. Example 3. Oxygen. Oxygen. One atom of oxygen. One atom of oxygen. Club with another atom of oxygen gives rise to oxygen molecule, gives rise to a molecule of oxygen, in which you have two atoms of oxygen. Two atoms of oxygen. Clear? So, pure substance can exist. Pure substance can exist as an atom, like copper, sodium, silver, etc., etc. Or two atoms can combine and form the molecules. It can be in the form of the molecules. But whatever may be the case, they follow a fixed ratio. And you cannot separate them by the simple letters. These are the two rules that are applied for element laws, because element is nothing but it is a pure substance. Okay. Now, the element can also be, the other form is compound. Pure substance can also exist in the form of the compound. Clear? Here I quote, when two or more atoms of different elements combine together in a definite ratio, the molecule of compound is obtained. Observe carefully what I say. If when two or more atoms of different elements, two or more atoms of the different elements combine together, in a definite ratio, a molecule of compound is A. Here I quote a simple example. I take up one simple example. Water. What is the chemical composition of water? H2O. H2O. Clear? Now observe. One hydrogen atom. One hydrogen atom. Another hydrogen atom. That means two atoms of hydrogen are combining with one atom of oxygen. Of the clarity. One hydrogen atom, another hydrogen atom. That means two atoms of hydrogen are combining with the one atom of oxygen. You are getting the water. What is the meaning of a compound? Just now I said, okay, atoms of different elements. Hydrogen is one element. Oxygen is another element. Atoms are different elements. Hydrogen is one element. Oxygen is another element. Hydrogen atoms, oxygen atoms. Atoms of different elements. When they are combining together in a fixed ratio, what is the fixed ratio here? 2:1. Two parts of hydrogen. Okay, H2O means two parts of hydrogen, one part of oxygen. In a fixed ratio, a molecule of water is formed. That water is known as compound. That water is known as a compound. Clear? Now, let me take up another example. You can take n number of examples. Let us say that carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. What is the chemical composition? CO2. CO. Observe here. One atom of oxygen. Another atom of oxygen. Okay. One atom of oxygen. Another atom of oxygen. Means two atoms of oxygen are combining with one atom of carbon. See, one atom of oxygen, another atom of oxygen, means two atoms of oxygen are combining with one atom of carbon. What is the definition of a compound? The atoms of different elements. Oxygen is one element and carbon is another element. So atoms of different elements, when they combine in a fixed ratio. What is the fixed ratio? In a fixed ratio. Clear? Atoms of different elements, when they combine in a fixed ratio. What is the fixed ratio? Observe, CO2. Carbon is 1 and oxygen is 2. In a fixed ratio, a molecule is formed. CO2 molecule is formed. That is known as compound. Clear? Let me take another example. Third, ammonia. What is the chemical formula? NH3, ammonia. Observe here. H, one atom of hydrogen. another atom of hydrogen, another atom of hydrogen. That means three atoms of one element. Element is same, hydrogen. Three atoms of one element. Combining with one atom of nitrogen. Nitrogen is another element. Nitrogen is another element. Three atoms of one element hydrogen are combining with one atom of nitrogen. Nitrogen is another element. Then you will be getting ammonia. And they are following what? They are following a fixed ratio. Fixed ratio. What is the ratio here? 1:3. Nitrogen is in 1 and hydrogen is in the 3. Nitrogen is in the 1. Nitrogen is in the 1 and hydrogen is in the 3. You will be getting ammonia compound. It is a molecule. Ammonia. Is it clear? Like that. NO2, NO3, nitric oxide, whatnot. You will take n number of examples. Clear? I repeat once again. Repeat once again that what is a compound? When the atoms of different elements, this is one element, this is another element. If the atoms of different elements combine together in a fixed ratio, that is very essential. In a fixed ratio, then a molecule is obtained. That molecule itself is known as a compound. Okay? That is a compound. Okay. Now, that means here, pure substances are classified two types. One is element, another is compound. Element, if you take sodium, copper, silver, gold, etc., ferrous, Fe, iron, all these are elements. Clear? And in these elements, all the particles are of in the presence of atoms. Or these elements, if two atoms club together, they form as a molecule, like hydrogen and another hydrogen combined, H2. One oxygen, another oxygen, forming the O2, like that. That means pure substance in the form of the element, either in the form of independent atoms, like sodium, silver, etc., or in the form of H2O2 in the molecules. That is the first aspect. And another aspect is pure substance can also be in the form of compound. Observe, when the elements of different, when the atoms of different elements are clubbing together in a fixed ratio, a compound, a molecule compound is formed. So, compound internally consisting of the elements. Compound internally consists of the elements. The atoms of different elements are forming, clubbing together a molecule known as compound. Earlier, I told glucose. Glucose is C6H12O6. Carbon is one element. Oxygen is another element. Hydrogen is another element. They are forming in a fixed ratio. 6:12:6 means 1:2:1. They are forming in a fixed ratio. So glucose is a compound. Sodium, silver, etc. They are elements. Means elements and compounds put together are known as the pure substances. Pure substance. I hope you got the clarity. Yeah. Now, I once again highlight that pure substance. your substance is, one is element, the other is compound. The element appear as atoms, such as sodium, silver, etc. Or it appears as molecules, such as H2, O2, etc. Clear? And coming to the compound, here in the compound, different elements, different atoms of different elements form a molecule in a fixed ratio. Atoms of different elements, atoms of different elements. Clear? Different elements. They form in the fixed ratio. I got. They are in the fixed ratio. And that too fixed ratio. That too. Here, a molecule. Okay. Okay. Examples for the compounds. Example for the compound. Here I got for the compound examples. I got for the compound. Ammonia, as I quoted, that is CO2, glucose C6, H12, O6, etc. All these are the examples. Okay. Now, observe carefully. When you look at the matter, so matter is mixture, or it may be in the form of pure substance. And mixture, again, homogeneous. Yesterday we have seen the previous lecture, homogeneous mixture, or the heterogeneous mixture. And this we saw just now, element, and compound. Okay. Yes. So components of the pure substance cannot be separated by the simple physical methods, whereas for the mixture they can be separated. Hope you have understood the lecture. We have discussed it in length about the pure substances. If you like the video, please share it and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Thank you very much.